Hello, everybody. I'm your host, J. Blue Sanders, and you're listening to my podcast, DJ Blue Radio, The J Blue Show on Spreaker.com and Spreaker Podcast Player. And as of today, I have a special guest with me on August 1st, Saturday. I have comedian Miss Arkansas. How you doing today?
Good morning. I am blessed and highly favored. I used to say flavored, but going through this pandemic, I ain't fooling around, so I'm back to favored.
Yes, that's great. Yeah. Well, you know what? That just leads me to the first question. How are you doing? How are you doing right now?
I am blessed. I'm not complaining. I'm not depressed. I'm not sick. I'm not, I'm good. These 17 weeks, I've been blessed to do my own podcast, and it's titled Zooming Through This Pandemic with Comedian Miss Arkansas. And I let them know that it doesn't mean we're going through it fast. It only means we're going through it together. So being able to interview some amazing people on higher levels and stuff like that, everybody is amazing. But God has people on different levels. And I've been blessed with all, these 17 weeks. And doing that each day, every day except Sunday, that helped lift my load a lot.
Yes.
So that's something I look forward to instead of all the stuff that's going on around us, even though all of that is real.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in my own little world right now and staying out of harm's way.
That's wonderful. That is so wonderful. Comedian Miss Arkansas, I just want to say that I thank you very much for being on this episode today on Saturday, August 1st. And we love you, Comedian Miss Arkansas, and we love all the listeners and the fans that are tuning in right now. Make sure that you leave a comment, drop a message in the Immortal Master Floppy chat room on Spreaker.com and Spreaker Podcast Player. It looks like we already got some messages. Wow. Fadia Zeed, also known as the Amazing Fufu Radio, she says hi and what? Oh, she has a question for you already.
Okay, cool.
All right. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and... Okay, so she says, Fadia Zeed she's asking, what is the best dream that you ever had?
My best dream I ever had, and it has came to pass, to perform on the stage at the Apollo in Harlem, New York. And I had been trying to get in there almost 30 years on amateur night. And God blessed me last year around Mother's Day to go with the Academy Award winner Monique. So that was a dream to come true.
Wow. Comedian Miss Arkansas, congratulations. Thank you for sharing that with us. Everybody, let's give Comedian Miss Arkansas an applause. All right, we're back again. DJ Blue Radio, The J Blue Show, hosted by J Blue Sanders. We have comedian Miss Arkansas. Tell us who you are and tell us what do you do.
Well, I am, first of all, a child of God. That's who I am. What
Yes.
I does is comedy. So I'm comedian Miss Arkansas. I'm a mother of 4 grown and gone kids. 11 beautiful grandbabies. And I'm just one of God's vessels that he's using to bring laughter into this sad world. So I am a comedian, not only a comedian, a vet in the comedy game. So.
Wow. Okay. So, comedian Miss Arkansas, you're a comedian, and where are you from?
Wow. I am originally from Blytheville, Arkansas. That's between Memphis, Tennessee, and St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
So I'm originally from there, but I've been gone away from home 21 years now.
Okay.
And I lived in St. Louis, Missouri for like 9 years. I lived in Southern California for 10 years, Northern California for a year, and now I am in hot Las Vegas, Nevada, and I've been here a little over a year.
Wow, that sounds exciting. That's wonderful.
Yes, it ain't like I'm moving because I'm running from nobody. I'm moving because I'm running to my dream.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Correct. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Comedian Miss Arkansas, tell us, we want to know, how has your practice changed over time since the pandemic?
Well, only thing have changed is I'm not on the stage, doing my comedy. But I don't have a problem with the virtual comedy shows either. So if anybody listening have virtual comedy shows and would like to pay me, I will do virtual comedy shows. And I am as funny online as I am on stage. So there's nothing you have to worry about. And
Yes.
then I love karaoke, and not being able to go to the karaoke bars, that's different. But I also would grab my little microphone and sing online, So really nothing have changed. The only thing have changed, I have a puppy now, and I've had him for 4 months. That's pretty much the only thing have changed.
Wow.
I'm okay with being in the house. I needed some rest.
Yes.
My prayers is with everyone that have to go out, to work and do all those things. And I just pray that they stay prayed up and covered up,
Yes. Yeah, we're sending prayers to all the people that are working in those doctors, buildings, and those nurses, that are helping people. Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. Shout out to all the protesters and marching, the marchers. Miss Comedian Arkansas, can you tell us a little bit about? I'm gonna ask you one thing. I don't mean to get religious or political, but I want to ask you this. We want to know, Comedian Miss Arkansas, do you think Trump should be in office, and do you think he needs to be out of the office?
Well, first of all, they say anybody can run for president if they have $5,000. So I'm trying to save up on my $5,000 so I can run for president.
Excellent. Excellent.
But no, I do not believe that he's in his right mind,
Okay.
It's like money over power, or however it goes. But I don't feel he the one to be over us as the head of the U.S. Watching him, he made a lot of wrong decisions. And it's not about the people, it's about him. What he done, how he making it great, and how this and how that. And he won't give nobody else no credit but himself. And he failed to realize that it take a team to make a dream work, not just one person.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
And mention of him and bringing him up, we actually have a theatrical play that's coming out, and they'll have to follow me for more information on that. But it's titled Donald Trump versus Obama Debate.
Wow.
And Donald Trump will be played by the amazing Mr. Big Red from the Five Heartbeats, and Obama will also be played by the amazing comedian Jammin' J. Lamont. And I also have a part in that play. They got Republican, Democrat, older person just voicing their opinion, and then they have me. I am liberal, and that means I don't care about none of them. I want to know what you gonna do for me and the people.
Yes, that's correct.
Be looking for that. That's coming out soon.
That's what's up. Comedian Miss Arkansas, we want to know, what do you consider your hottest comedy show right now?
Meaning? One that I have done?
Yes. I seen one where you just Big Worm, like Big Worm opened up for you on stage, I was
Well,
like,
he was the host of the night I performed at the competed at the Bay Area Black Comedy Competition and Festival out in the Bay Area.
wow.
He was one of the hosts that night.
Yes.
So he had to bring me out. Yes. And you know what? I could have won that night. I actually went over 27 seconds and lost.
Oh, no.
They don't want you to go over 1 second. If they say, and what happened with that was, I share real quickly, like the other comedians, I showed them my light. I hollered out their name. I did everything I had to do to keep them from going over. And then when it was Miss Arkansas time, they all turned their back. Some of them walked out. Didn't no one in there that I thought was looking out for me got my attention to let me know that my time was running out like I did for them.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
That taught me in every situation, you got to have your own back.
Yes. You know what? That reminds me. Is that one of your was that one of your most embarrassing moments in your career?
To be honest with you, I haven't had no embarrassing moments.
Okay. Okay.
You know, every moment's been a good moment, you know, and when I do have a bad moment, like say for instance, if someone passed away and I have a show that night or something, I don't let my fans or the audience know that I'm going through nothing. I go do what I came to do, then I deal with that once I get back by myself.
Yes. That's good. I like that.
You know, because they come to laugh away their problems, not to cry about mine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so that leads me back to the question. So, what do you consider your hottest comedy show today?
Well, my show that I host and headline and feature, and I do it all sometimes. It depends on what comedian I have booked. But I have my own show monthly at the Ontario Improv in Ontario, California. Comedian Miss Arkansas and Real Friends. And we were just scheduled to be there April the 7th of this year, and that was pushed back due to the pandemic. But like I explained to my comedian friends, I'd rather for it to be pushed back than us pushed under. So they'll give me another date, you know, and if this thing that we're going through have come to an end, I accept that date. But if it's still bad and people still getting sick and passing away, I'll turn that date down too. You know, I don't have to be out there. God have blessed me. I love bringing him up. Some people say they don't like to talk about him too much, but I just want to say I can't talk about him enough because I know where my true help comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I'm not working, not a day have I went without eating, and I have a few extra pounds to prove that.
That's what's up, for sure. Wow,
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
But I would say the Ontario Improv, since that's like my home base, even though I'm in Vegas, but I always consider the Ontario Improv as my home base.
Yeah, I love the performance that you did here in San Jose, California. Oh, matter of fact, where are you right now?
Actually, I am in hot Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay.
That's where I live now. I've been here a little over a year.
Okay.
Actually, this is my second time living here. First time I came and lived with my sister. Her son was sick, so I had to come and help her out. Then when he went on and descended into heaven or wherever he's gone, you know, hopefully heaven. But she ended up moving back to Arkansas, and I left Vegas and went back to California. And then instead of being out there in California homeless or having to have 15 roommates to help pay the rent, I, decided to move to Las Vegas because I knew I could pay my own rent here in Vegas without roommates. Okay,
for sure. So, again, comedian Miss Arkansas, we love you. Thank you for being on this episode. Right now, this is episode 15, comedian Miss Arkansas. Everybody, please share, like, and comment on this episode. This is streaming live from Spreaker.com and Spreaker Podcast Player on my podcast, DJ Blue Radio, The J Blue Show, hosted by myself, J Blue Sanders. And I'm asking comedian Miss Arkansas questions, and she's coming up with some really great answers. So this leads to the next question.
That's because it's the truth.
Comedian Miss Arkansas, tell us, we want to know, what role does the comedians have in society?
What role?
Yes.
Our role is, well, like I said earlier, our role is actually just to bring laughter into this sad world.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of them people, they get in for free. Most of them, they like scraping pennies to pay something. So we don't have a problem with letting them in for free. Then you got those that pay. But regardless of how they got in, they came to laugh. You know, laughter, you could be depressed, you could be sick, you could be whatever it is that's going on in your life. But if you can get some laughter in there, it don't make that problem go away, but it makes that it make you feel so much better.
Yes.
And if you're laughing and stuff, eventually it will go away.
Yes.
Or you'll be able to deal with it better. So that's our role, to just bring laughter into this sad world.
Yes.
And you know what though, Jay? It don't only help the people, it helps me. You know, I got 2 sons that's incarcerated.
Okay.
And one of my sons is doing federal time. The other one is doing state time. And I'm concerned about both of them, but I'm mainly concerned about my baby boy, the one doing the state time, because the state don't treat you like the Fed. And, you know, he calls all the time, and I wish there was more I could do, and one day I'm going to be able to do more. But, like, he called like a month ago, and he was like, Mama, these police is coming in here sneezing and coughing and stuff. He said, one of my cellies, you know, cellmates, he said, one of my cellies got the coronavirus. He said, they just tested all of us. Then I'm waiting on his test. You know, I believe God protecting them, but at the same time, being human, you get in your flesh. So it's like I'm on pins and needles, waiting on his test results like they mine, you know? And then he finally called. He was like, Mama, they talking about they lost our results. Then they had to retest them like July the 5th of this month. Well, last month now. But he finally called back and said that the test came back negative. So thank God for that.
Thank God.
So I told him, like I tell everybody, in this thing we're going through, all you can do for real is stay prayed up and covered up and stay out the way.
Amen.
I bought a mask. It says,
that's right. Wow.
Look, I bought this mask, and it say, if you're reading this, you're too close.
Oh, wow. You know, that's a reminder. Everybody, make sure that y'all keep that social distance, keep those bodies and hands clean, and wear those masks, and stay out the way. Stay home.
And you know what I'll say about the mask for the ladies? Because a lot of us, say for instance myself, I've been told by so many people I have a beautiful smile, so now I'm believing it. And that's the only problem I say I have, you know, as far as the mask. I hate hiding my smile, because a lot of times when people see me smile, that makes them smile.
Yes.
So I would just say to the ladies, take your mask and decorate it up. Do something to it that's going to make you feel good and make you don't mind wearing it. One of my comedians that I interviewed on yesterday, she said she make those shields. And I was saying how I got to get me one. And she was like, text me your address. She said, I'm going to send you 2 of them. I'm going to send you one with the glasses, and I'm going to bling you up the other one. Because they know I love everything blinged up. But I was just thinking how that was a blessing, because I said, I got to get me one. I didn't ask her for one. I didn't even know she make them. But for her to say, I'm sending you 2 of them, I consider that a blessing.
Wow. I like that. Yeah, a lot of people are getting very creative right now with the mask. I see that everybody is coming out with their own design and graphic logos and stitching. And power to the people. And shout out to everybody that's getting creative and during this pandemic, in this quarantine.
I'll give a quick shout out to my daughter-in-law, Jasmine. She started making T-shirts and masks and cups and some of everything. Anyway, she sent me a mask matching a T-shirt saying "Zooming Through the Pandemic with Comedian Miss Arkansas." So that was real cool, to have my own T-shirt and mask for my show.
Wow, that's wonderful. Shout out to your daughter. Yes.
Daughter-in-law, only daughter-in-law.
Hey, that's nothing but love. Hey.
Yeah.
Shout out to your daughter-in-law, Jasmine. Yeah, keep making them shirts and those masks. So, comedian Miss Arkansas, right. We want to know.
Yes.
Are you making any money in the in the comedy industry? And is it working for you?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. Every dime adds up to $1.
Okay. That's right.
It's like playing scratch off. Some of them worth 50 cents. Some of them worth $1. Some of them ain't worth nothing.
Okay.
So my thing is, I have a handful of comedians that can call on me and won't have to give me a dime, because it's vice versa. I can call on them and don't have to pay them. We're doing it for love and doing it because we are friends.
Okay.
But then sometimes, even though they say I don't have to give them nothing, at the end of the night, I still bless them with something to show I appreciate them. But me personally, like I say, sometimes, Blue, I have to get my taser, make sure my battery ain't dead in my taser to get my money.
Okay.
I'll just say, once God gets done doing whatever it is he's doing with this shutdown, pandemic, whatever they want to call it, it'll be some changes made. I was already having some of them to give me half of my money before I show up and the rest when I show up. But I'm just trusting that I have me a manager or agent once this is over. That way I won't have to do nothing but bring the laughter.
Yes.
I won't have to worry about none of that other stuff.
Everybody, we really appreciate your time for listening to this episode. And comedian Miss Arkansas, we really appreciate you bringing the laughter to the world for the people and for yourself. And I'm glad, right. And we're glad that it's making you feel really good. And, I watch your post every day. You make me smile and feel really good. And I don't even see you in person every day. So don't worry about the mask. All right. This leads to the next question. Miss Comedian Arkansas, can you name 3 comedians that you'd like to be compared to?
Me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And me.
Me, and me. Me, myself, and I.
To be honest, I'm telling you, even when I was growing up as a kid, I never wanted to be no one but myself, because I felt that I was amazing. Mm-hmm. And as I grew older, I found out that I am amazing.
Yes.
So I have a few that inspire me, but I have none that I want to be.
Wow. I love it. I love the answer. I ask all people that question, mostly artists. and they all pretty much want to say the same thing. They'd say, I never really wanted to compare myself to nobody or never have. But, some of them, they would come up with some preferences, even though they really don't want to be like them, but they would like to be compared to them in some ways. But that's a really good answer. And you are very amazing.
You know what? Not cutting you off. If I had to be like anybody, I'd just shout out my mother then, if that's the case.
Yeah.
May she continue to rest in peace. But if I was going to be like anybody, I would have, I believe that's who I was like.
Yes. Okay, I respect that.
She was beautiful. She meant what she said. It's like I'm everything that she was.
Excellent.
She just wasn't no comedian now. My dad was the comedian. My mom wasn't no comedian.
Okay. No.
She had time to be joking.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's good that you said that. That leads to the next question. Now I don't need to. Now we already know why you do what you do. Obviously, you're doing it for the people. You're doing it for yourself. You're trying to help people deal with situations and in a better way, or it goes on and on. So now, what's the best piece of advice you've been given as a comedian?
Well, first of all, I'll just say what I've learned as a comedian, and I will give the advice to the comedians that's listening. How about that?
Okay.
I would just say, don't sell your soul. Don't lower your standards. Let your no be no. They gonna offer you all kinds of things that in your spirit ain't right. So you just have to pretty much go with your spirit, or either go on and go through whatever it is they want you to go through, and then be wishing that you had followed your spirit. But like doing comedy 30 years, I've been offered many things, and I'm just so grateful that my mother raised us right, and she explained to us that God's timing ain't your timing. And I'm glad she did that, because I would have already been rich, famous, and broke. But on today, I know what to do, not only with my money, but with my body, my soul, my spirit, my everything. I know my whole package. I know what to do with my package.
That's right. For sure. That's right. I like that fire in your soul.
To be honest with you, Blue, didn't nobody tell me nothing. I end up going through all kinds of stuff and running my head into all kinds of walls, and going through all kinds of changes over these 30 years, and just start learning stuff myself. Sometimes when you are good, and I say this to the comedians or artists or whoever listening, because it don't just go for comedians. Sometimes it's not that you're not good enough. You're too good. And that can hurt you just as being as not good.
Yes.
And I explain why I say that. Because a lot of times jealousy creep in, or envy, and all that different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People say they helping you, and then when other people start showing you a lot of attention, they go to feeling threatened. And then now it's time to get rid of you.
Yeah. I don't. That's very strange, but I know what you're talking about. I've been there.
I'll explain to you what I'm talking about. I'll give you an example.
Okay. I'm all ears. We're all ears.
Okay, like I said, I still have it. It's just a shutdown right now at the Ontario Improv. Every month on Tuesday, I was packing it out. When I host, those that know me know that I change wigs, clothes, jewelry, everything. And I ended up leaving one of my outfits. And I was like, and they called me and told me. And I saw that Monique was going to be there that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, Lord, I can go get my outfit Friday and get me a picture with Monique. That's all I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I went over there. The general manager brought me my little bag to the door. He said, "I'm sorry, Miss Arkansas. It's sold out. We can't let you in." I said, "I can respect that." I was getting ready to go to karaoke. I wasn't even tripping.
Mm-hmm.
So this young lady stopped me. She said, "Excuse me, are you getting ready to buy a ticket?" I said, "No, they said they sold out." She said, "Well, my sister couldn't make it. Here, God bless you." Monique had a 7 and a 9 o'clock show. That was the 7 o'clock. I went in there. I enjoyed the show. When the show was over, all I did was walk up to that lady and said, "Hi, Monique. I'm comedian Miss Arkansas." She said, "Would you like to do some time on my next show?" I did 7 minutes on her 9 o'clock show, and she said she had to come out the green room to see what the people were laughing at. A year later, I bought a ticket. I said, "They ain't going to be able to tell me that." So make a long story short, I went in there, seen her again. She said, "Baby, come back tomorrow night and close out my show with me." I did that. I was getting ready to leave. She said, "Come in the green room." She said, "You are amazing. People need to know you. They need to see you." She said, "I have a few tour dates coming up. I'm going to take you on the road with me." That lady took me to Chicago, 4 sold-out shows at the Improv in Chicago, where she had her residency here in Las Vegas at the SLS Hotel and Casino. I did 13 shows with her, and a lot of them shows, it was just me and her. So that's why I tell people I didn't open for Monique. I featured for her. And then, once again, I was blessed Mother's Day of last year to go to the Apollo in Harlem, New York with her. So if she didn't do nothing else, she did more than enough for me. So, you know, I was kind of angry how it went down, even though she said a few, and when I went to school, a few was a few, you know. So I didn't expect no real long run with her, but I didn't like how our run ended.
Okay. I see.
You know, she started bringing other people in, then that's when the problem started happening.
Okay.
But like I say, when it first happened, I was angry. But right now, anger is nowhere in my mind. I just think back on how that was a blessing, and I'm just so thankful for her. So once again, shout out to Monique. But you just have to be careful. And a lot of the big comedians, not myself, I love everybody that's on my show to be funny. That way people don't mind coming back, or they don't mind telling somebody about your show. And they talk bad things about people's shows that when it ain't but one person funny on it, you know?
Yes.
So a lot of the big comedians would tell you to tone it down or change the way you do your comedy. They try to change you in order for you to roll with them. And my thing is, if I do any changing, it's going to be for God. You know, something that's going to change me, not only my outside, but my inside. Man ain't going to change me. And before I go to doing all that change, especially if it's not for my good, I just get away from you.
Yeah. I got you. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm so glad that you are reaching your dreams and you are you're accomplishing your dreams. And shout out to Monique for inviting you to feature on her tours and shows. Let's give comedian Miss Arkansas another round of applause. All right, we're back again. DJ Blue Radio, the J Blue Show, streaming on Spreaker.com and Spreaker Podcast Player. Just a little bonus for everybody. This episode 15, Comedian Miss Arkansas, will be available on YouTube under Immortal Master Floppy. And make sure that you like, comment, and share this episode. And I'm your host, J Blue Sanders. And Miss Comedian Arkansas, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you about to say?
I said, I'm not sure if you was going to ask me this or bring this up, but I have something I would like to share. And the reason I want to share it is because once I get to where God is taking me, I don't need TMZ and all the rest of them trying to tell it. That way listeners can say, she already told us that.
Sure. We're all ears.
So many years ago, I got in trouble. A life was taken, and I had to go do time. And instead of getting out being one of the worst criminals there is, I put the negative aside and became one of the best comedians there is. But the young lady that lost her life, her mother, her kids, her brother, in other words, her family, have forgiven me. I have asked for forgiveness. So they did say they forgive me. I asked God for forgiveness, and I finally forgave myself because she wasn't no enemy of mine. Her and my sister had problems, and I just felt my sister's problem was my problem. But, you know, like I say, being older and wiser now, if I could do it over, it would be done different. But since I can't do it over, I just say to people, you know, if somebody pushed that button or somebody else having a problem and you can't get them to calm down and go another way, you just go the other way. Because if not, you're going to be the one that have to suffer the consequences.
Mm-hmm. I respect that. Okay.
But, you know, I dropped out of school, but while in prison, I got my GED. I sung in the choir. I did all the positive things while I was in there. I didn't go in there getting in no trouble. And before I went there, I wasn't no bad person or, you know, nothing like that. I just got in a bad situation.
Yes. Wow.
And the young lady, one of the daughters, I was talking to her around Mother's Day because I know that bothers them on Mother's Day not to have their mother. So I was talking to her, and I was saying how I asked them for forgiveness when they was kids. And I didn't know if y'all understood what forgiveness meant, but I'm asking now as you're an adult. And don't you know that young lady told me, she said, Miss Rudd, I forgave you a long time ago. She said, free yourself.
Yes. Amen. Hallelujah.
So I just want to say, you know, that's another reason why I do comedy, because when I fill out applications and I tell the truth, I don't get the job. And I don't feel I have to lie on the application just to get a job. So now I do my comedy. I am my own boss.
That's right. That's right. And now I just want to share something really quick because I met you in the Los Angeles area. I remember you were saying that you actually lived in Los Angeles. So this was in, I think it was, you know, more than a couple of years, maybe a few years back. And you were on the set of Michael Jackson's Searching for Neverland, Lifetime movie. And then I seen you again at the San Jose Improv in California, where you did an amazing performance. And I just want to say that I want to remind you that, I fell in love with your performance here in San Jose, California. And I when I first met you on set, you know, with Navi MJ and Bombay Bugs B and you know, on set of the Michael Jackson movie, you did so great when you were telling jokes, and I was actually able to record it, and I was able to publish it, and the video went viral. And
oh wow,
yeah, it was amazing. I want to ask you this question: what would you do, or what would you be doing if you were not a comedian?
What would I be doing if I wasn't a comedian? Probably be a singer.
Okay.
I like singing.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what's up. See, I didn't know that. I was thinking you might say the acting or, you know, being an actress. Because that goes perfect with your career.
If not singing, being an actress, a model, about 4 or 5 different things that I believe I can accomplish. you know.
You know what? That's really great. And, you know, I think that almost anybody that's willing to be on stage can be a model. Like if you, you know, if you want to be a singer, an actress, an actor, or, you know, a comedian, you know, if you have any of those skills to, you know, to be on stage, you know, most of them have the confidence to be a model. And, so I get a lot of, when I ask that question, I get a lot of answers. They always say, you know, something along those lines. Or they might just say, oh, you know, I would have been just with my family, you know, taking care of my family, working, things like that. But, yeah.
You know, doing some of that stuff helps you to be able to take care of your family, you know?
Absolutely,
you
yeah.
have a better income coming in.
Yes, yeah. And that's really like just, that's close to being a model. I mean, I feel like if you was, you know, I feel like any comedian, you know, can be a model. Not just, you know, once they get that fame and that, you know, that rich, once they get that taste of the money and the taste of fame, they can be almost anything. So, or they could be anything.
If they gonna, a lot of them, if they gonna be a model, they need to get them a designer or something, because a lot of them come to them shows looking like they just left a ball game. And they don't know that when you dress up, that get the people attention immediately.
Yes.
You know, not your jokes. It's how you look when you step on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look like you somebody, they gonna 10 out of 10, they gonna pay you some attention. If
Yes.
you look like you somebody just left a ball game or just got off your couch, half of the club gonna be talking. You know. And the other half might be laughing, and then eventually the other ones that's talking will be quiet and listen because you happen to be funny. But like I say, if you try dressing up like guys, they could put on a nice shirt and some slacks and go in there, and then they'll look different instead of a t-shirt and some baggy pants or something. You know, and ladies, you ain't got to have all your behind out. Even though I used to do that when I was around the age of 15, I let it all hang out. Now I cover it up.
Okay. Comedian Miss Arkansas, what makes you angry about the comedy industry? If you have any anger issues with the comedy industry.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm angry. What upsets me is a lot of time when different things is going on, auditions and, you know, stuff like that. When they going on, a lot of the people won't contact me till it's like right at the deadline or done past the deadline. You know, and when I say right at the deadline, they know I really don't have time to get all the stuff I need to submit it.
Yes.
You know, so that's the only thing kind of upsets me.
Okay.
But I say used to upset me. Don't nothing upset me. Now I figured out how to do a lot of this stuff myself.
Nothing makes you angry.
I and see what's going on, and if I want to be a part of it, I sign up. And then that's another part about me. Now, when I have information, I don't mind sharing it. I don't, I figure it's enough for all of us to eat. And it's up to you what you go eat. Now, I can get me a chicken because you can bake, broil, fry. You can do a chicken any kind of way. But if you got to have steak and lobster and crabs and all that different stuff, you just got to work a little harder to get all that,
Yeah. Wow. You're really coming up with some really great answers because, like, already I asked you what would you be doing if you weren't doing if you weren't making jokes, or you said that you'd be singing, and that goes perfect with your karaoke career. You said you like doing karaoke. I mean karaoke. I'm sorry about that. But that goes perfect. That goes perfect with that. And then you also said that that you don't allow anything to make you angry. You know how to and you know how to not let anything or let not anybody see anything bother you, and you take it and deal with it on your own.
And you know what, Blue? Reason I don't like being angry because when I get angry or when I have gotten angry, it takes so much to calm me down. And I don't like that feeling. So I try to deal with whatever the issue is or the problem or whatever, and I try to deal with it. And if I can't deal with it, I call somebody. I call my older sister, my godmother. I call somebody that I can talk with that can talk me through that thing.
Yeah, okay. That's what's up. Now we want to know, because you've been doing this for more than, 30, 30 years, and, over 30 years. And we want to know, what superpowers do you think, or what superpowers do you consider having, and why?
Well, I would say I have superpowers. Every time before I do my show, I say a prayer.
Okay.
So I ask the other comedians to join in with me. Sometimes a couple of them do. Some of them say they don't believe, and it's funny because them that say they don't believe end up going out there on the stage and bum. So I bet they pray the next time, But I would say superpower. I just feel that prayer work every time for me.
Okay. For sure. We have several more questions here. We don't want to keep you hostage.
Yeah, it's all good. It feels good on this Saturday morning to be up talking with a good friend of mine, And I do consider you a friend because all you ever showed me was love and respect.
Thank you, comedian Miss Arkansas. Thank you so much. We love you, and we love you. We love the listeners. It's a pleasure and a blessing to have you on this episode, comedian Miss Arkansas. Thank you so much. We have several more questions here, and I think everybody wants to know. And this is the question. What kind of research do you do to prepare for your career and, your shows, being as a comedian, what kind of research do you do?
To be honest, I don't do no researching. I know comedians from Chucky Ducky, Quack Quack, all the way down to the locals.
Okay.
So it's like, I don't like seeing it that way where you scratch my back, I scratch yours. But I'll say I got comedians that I can call on that have shows that will put me on, or they'll refer me to someone else. Or a lot of times when I be somewhere performing, somebody there normally see me and recommend me to someone. So it's like being in the right place at the right time.
Okay. That's what's up. That's really great. And now, what jobs have you done other than being a comedian?
Jobless.
Okay. Oh, is that?
That ain't no joke for real.
Did you?
Like I said, being in trouble years ago hindered me from getting a job. I worked at P&G, this factory that made like laundry detergent and all that different stuff. They gave me a chance, and the only reason I got a chance with them because early that morning when they doing the interviews or whatever, you had to come and stand outdoors, and they had one line, and then they'll say, if you've been convicted of a felony or whatever, stand in this line. If you ain't never been convicted of nothing, you get in that line. So that first week, I got in the line of being convicted, because that was the truth. Then they sent everybody in that line home. I put on a different wig and all that stuff, didn't talk to nobody so they couldn't see my gold tooth in my mouth. I just was standing over there being quiet. The lady said the same thing the next week. If you've been convicted of a felony, get in this line. If you haven't been convicted, get in that line. So I got in the line that ain't been convicted. And I actually got the job, and the people fell in love with me. my supervisor started allowing me to go through comedy, to take off to go through comedy. Sometimes he'll still say hello to me on Facebook, and that's been many years ago.
Yes.
But, um, I'm just excited to be one of the best in the comedy game.
Yes, you are. You are. And for everyone that's listening, don't forget this is streaming on Spreaker.com and Spreaker Podcast Player. This is episode 15, Comedian Miss Arkansas. And you can find this episode on my podcast, DJ Blue Radio, The J Blue Show, hosted by J Blue Sanders. And if you have these handful of questions, if you have a handful of questions that I'm asking comedian Miss Arkansas, you can email those answers to arts@newsandmediarepublic.org for a possible feature on the site. That's arts@newsmediarepublic.org, and include a photo of your creative space and some examples of your work or links on how to get them. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure that you drop a comment, like, and share this episode 15, Comedian Miss Arkansas. And we are so glad to have Comedian Miss Arkansas here with us right now. So, Comedian Miss Arkansas, what food, drink, and song inspires you before you do a show?
Food, drink, and song. Well, when I used to drink, it was Absolute and cranberry juice. But today, been actually 3 years and 3 months, I haven't had any alcohol. So congratulations to me on that.
Congratulations. That's wonderful.
Food, I'm real picky.
Okay.
So I could just, chicken always work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a chicken breast sandwich or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, I don't have to eat or drink nothing before I do my comedy.
Okay.
And my song, if I'm going to come out on something, it'll actually be Johnny Guitar Watson, Ain't That a Beat? I don't like cursing on people's shows or my show, but Johnny Guitar Watson, because I come out with my little guitar like I can play it, but I can't. I'm just playing with it because that's one of my props sometimes.
Uh-huh. That's what's up.
But 9 out of 10, I've been an 8 before I got there. And none of that really have to do nothing to get me started or make me have a good show. Because doing it 30 years, I've learned to do it without a DJ, people, money. All of that was missing at a show or another,
Yeah. Okay. Comedian Miss Arkansas, we want to know, what memorable responses have you had on your shows? I think we've already Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, when I did the Apollo with Monique last year, after the show, the line was like long as a Six Flag line, waiting to take pictures. And a lot of people wanted a picture with me, her, and the other comedian. But then sometimes I just let her take her pictures by herself. And I just walk around and talk to people.
Okay.
So this young lady, she was at the end of the line. And, pretty much you could tell when something is on somebody's mind or something is bothering somebody. So I walked back there and I talked to that young lady. And I just got to sharing the goodness of the Lord and all he has done for me and what he's doing for me. And she was like, "Can I get a picture with you?" I said, "Sure, why not?" And then I said, "Let me get mine with you." I said, "I might not never see your picture like that." And we laughed and, then I went on about my business. And later on that night, I had a message on Instagram in my DM. And I checked it, and it was that young lady. And what she said to me blew my mind. She said, "It was my intention to commit suicide tonight until you shared your testimony with me."
Oh, my.
And I cried like a baby because I felt out of all them years I've been trying to get in that Apollo on amateur night, God said I wasn't no amateur and brought me in on Monique night. And he waited that long because that lady was going to be there and needed somebody to share his word to save her life.
Wow. Wow, that had to touch your heart.
That was my biggest moment in my whole 30 years of doing comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, that touches my heart. Wow. Wow, that is very touching. I mean, that's like when a guy tells me that another person that listens to their rap song, they like their rap song so much that they cried. I remember an artist told me that he watched another grown man cry because of a song that he enjoyed. He loved the song, and it was his most memorable moment of his work. And so, yeah, for someone to say that if I was gonna commit suicide tonight until I seen your testimony, that's got to be like wow, like that's awesome.
And you know what though, Jay? One other time, it ain't been but two. I was on another radio interview, and a young man called in, and he said, "I just want Miss Arkansas to know I was bedridden." He said, and I kept watching her comedy, and I kept watching her comedy. He said, and it helped me to get up out of this bed. And me and Mr. J. Michael Hernandez, we both looked at each other and was like, wow. So I say this to say what I just heard. You got to know how to treat people, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mother used to always say, you treat people the way you want to be treated. So anybody I come in contact with, I show much love. And if they hear of anybody having a problem with Miss Arkansas, you better know they is the problem. But, you know, when you do what you do, you never know who you are helping or hurting. And I'm praying whatever you do is helping someone, not hurting someone, you know?
Yes, amen. Amen to that. Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. It's when somebody that you don't know just you know sees you one night and then they just they hit you up with a text or a message and say words like that. That's really heartfelt. That. Do you still talk to her?
I gave her my number, and I told her to call me at any time. And sometimes I go on Instagram, and I go in her DM and check on her and make sure she's still okay and all that good stuff, And I had told her that night I'll always check on her. So one thing about me, I'm a woman of my word. I might forget or something might slip my mind. But once it comes back, I take care of what I'm going to do. Or if it feels like I'm taking too long for something I said I'm going to do, I pray that that person will remind me or reach out to me. It ain't that I don't want to do it or that it's like forget them or nothing like that. People do have things to do and people do get tired up. But at the same time, I still check on her, and I pray for her, and I thank God that she shared that with me because not only what I was sharing with her helped her, but what she said helped me. It showed me some things that I didn't see at first.
Yes. That's deep.
In other words, wherever God sends you, let him use you. How about that? Wherever he send you to, let him use you.
Yes. And comedian Miss Arkansas.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
My mother raised us in church.
Uh-huh.
But I ain't going to say that I'm not a Christian. I still got work to do. I'm not what I should be, but I thank God I'm not what I used to be. And the reason I keep bringing him up because I found him to be everything to me. My health, 2 times they lied like I had cancer, and I didn't have no cancer. I told them people I ain't had no cancer. They was like, Well, we see some little white particles in your left breast. I told that man, I said, sir, that's some old powder milk. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I didn't believe it. You got to believe what you believe. And both times it was not no cancer. So,
You know, that,
that's because I prayed about that. And
yes.
when I pray, I believe what I'm praying in. Not only what I'm praying in, but who I'm praying to.
Yes. I think it's really important that, you know, all people understand that faith without works is nothing, and works without what is it? Works without faith is nothing, and faith without works is nothing, right? But you know, but that's what
Right.
that's what you hear, right? But you know what I like to tell people? I agree with that, but I also say you must love what you believe in, because a lot of people,
That's right.
they, you know, and so if you love what you believe in and you love what you're doing, then it's more than likely that will happen. And so I'm really proud of you, comedian Miss Arkansas.
You know what, Blue? And I'm glad you said that, because I do love the Lord. And what we're going through now, if this happened to be the end, because I'm a firm believer in the Bible too. So if this happened to be the end, I'll just say this, and I mean it with all of my heart. I'm going out like a soldier of the Lord. If they have to cut my head off and take my gold too, they can do that too. But I'm not going to sell my soul just to say that I'm a part of this law and order or whatever they trying to put together, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I like that
So
fire.
I do love it. I do love it.
Yes, I like
I'm
that.
talking about the Lord. So,
Hallelujah. Yeah, I like that fire in your soul, sister. You know what I'm saying? I like that.
well,
For
man,
sure.
God is good. Older people, the elders, when I was growing up, I wasn't bad. I was fast. You know, I wasn't a bad kid. I just liked the boys, and I just was hot in the tail, like they say. But them older people used to always say, she ain't going to live to see 15, but God have blessed me to live to see 51.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my birth certificate wrong, because I feel like I'm 28.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Well, how many more minutes do you, or how much more time do you have with us, comedian Miss Arkansas? Because we've already went over an hour, so I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'm really enjoying.
You know what? I just want you to get out whatever you need to get out. You know?
Okay.
Don't leave nothing unturned. And because at the end of the day, I'm getting ready to write me a book. I've been saying this for 30 years too, so I got to do it if I'm going to do it. And I'm looking forward to my book being a #1 seller.
Okay.
So get out whatever you got to get out. That way, like I said, the listeners, they can say, Miss Arkansas have already told us this, because I don't need nobody on none of these TV shows or radio shows or nowhere trying to dig up no dirt on me, which it ain't no lot of dirt no way, because everything I done did, I pretty much done told it.
Yes.
You know, it's been 30 years, no coke, as in cocaine. God delivered me from that. It's been 17 years now, no marijuana. He delivered me from that. Like I said, I used to shoplift. I was one of the best boosters out there, but I haven't put my hand on nobody's stuff over 20 years. And then on today, August the 1st, it's actually 3 years and 3 months today that I haven't had any alcohol. So I felt God was cleaning me up before allowing me to blow up.
All right. You know what? That leads to the next question. So, I think you just answered me, but I'm going to ask you this so that everybody can hear it. What are you working on right now?
Actually, the only thing I'm working on right now, well, it's a couple of things. First of all, I'm working on making my podcast and pray that it become a TV show. Monday will actually be week number 18 for me. on Zooming through the pandemic with comedian Miss Arkansas, and like I tell them, it doesn't mean we're going through it fast. It only means we're going through it together. And I've been blessed to interview some amazing people like yourself, casting directors, movie producers, and the comedy doctor, the godmother of comedy, the godfather of comedy, designers, just amazing big people. And, you know, at least 85% of those people done did something for me already or getting ready to do some things for me. So I'm working on just making my podcast bigger and better. And
Amen.
I'm just so thankful for everybody that gave me the opportunity to interview them, because that made my load lighter. You know, it gave me something to do, because I'm always dressing up, and that feels good to dress up and look beautiful. So I get to go in there and jump in the shower or the tub and dress up like I'm going somewhere and come sit on my couch and interview people. So I'm working to make that better. And then we also have a theatrical play coming up. I'm working on my character with that, which I ain't got to work on it. You know, all I got to do is just get my script in me and go edit. I already know how to act. But there's going to be a debate between Donald Trump and Obama. And once again, Donald Trump will be played by Mr. Big Red from the Five Heartbeats. And Obama will be played by Jamie J. Lamont. And we just added Jamal, comedian Jamal. He's going to be Wacko. Kanye West.
Okay.
And I'm in that play, and I'm just looking forward to that.
Nice.
But, you know, like I was explaining to someone the other day, what I love about what's going on, at first I was going to have to leave out of here and go look for work once this is over. But I feel that once this is over, all I got to do is go out and go to work, because it's like God's setting a lot of things up for me.
Mm-hmm. And comedian Miss Arkansas, where can we find your content on social media and any digital streaming platforms? Is there anything you want to tell us?
Well, if you go on YouTube, a lot of that you're going to hear some of the same jokes. You might hear like one joke different in some of them or whatever. But just know that I do have other jokes. So don't be like, man, that's the same video. That's the same comedy.
Okay.
I do have other jokes that haven't been put on YouTube, because I feel like if they steal them, they won't get to steal them all. And at the end of the day, I'm not worried about them stealing them, because they won't be able to tell them like I tell them. So if you got to steal on. I just refuse to steal anymore. But they can find my comedy like on YouTube, like I said. Just Google the comedian Miss Arkansas. And you going to, I don't know if it's changed or not, but normally when I Google me, 5 white women pop up, me and Michael Jackson. I don't know where Michael Jackson come from. Maybe the
film
thing I went and did for him. You know,
film.
maybe that's why he popped up. Right, the film. But it'd be 5, like I say, 5 white women. It's like me and Michael Jackson. So just know I am the African American with the gold tooth.
And how old are you?
On YouTube, that's where they can find my comedy. How old am I?
Yeah. Or how young are you?
Oh my God.
No. That's okay. That's okay. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, continue. You was talking about YouTube, and you was gonna lead to social media.
The comedy part they can find on YouTube. I have like 4 or 5 pages on Facebook, but I'm asking everybody to direct themselves to the comedian Miss Arkansas page. And, you know, because you can guarantee to get in that one right now, because it's like at 1,000. It ain't at 5,000, but all my other pages going to reach they 5,000. So go to comedian Miss Arkansas and send me a request, and I accept that. And do a sister a favor, help me get my numbers up over on Instagram.
Instagram. All right.
Yes, please. Because, you know, I shared this before you let me go or whatever. I want my numbers up. Some of them people on there be trying to inbox me and try to sell me some followers. First of all, I'm not going to pay nobody to follow me. You know, because at the end of the day, when I do my shows, I post it on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all those sites. But most of my people come from these streets when
Yes.
I get out and talk to people and invite them.
Yeah.
But the industry, they want to see numbers. I believe they get paid from seeing the numbers, because it can't be that they get paid from the people. Because I've been at shows where it's been major headliners and they had millions and billions of followers, but wasn't nobody in that comedy club but the people I brought.
Okay.
You know, so those numbers really don't mean nothing to me, but it mean a lot to the industry. So I'm just asking everybody that's listening, you know, help a sister get her numbers up. And just remember, you are needed and very much appreciated.
Yes. And I have a question for you. We want to know, Miss. So comedian Miss Arkansas, we want to know. Oh, you know what? Okay, I take that back. Okay, I wanted to share something with you, because you said that you look yourself when you say when you Google yourself, or when people Google you, they say that you pop up, and then, like, you know, maybe 4, 3, 5 other women pop up, white women pop up, and Michael Jackson, right? Now,
Right.
I want to share something with you. Now, I want to say that since you have a big name for yourself, you know, you are verified by the streets and the industry, but I think what you want to look into is getting your Google account verified, getting verification on Google. And the way you do that is, I'm gonna send you the link just to make it simple. But it's on Google. I can't really share how I found it, but one day I was on Google and it said on there, verify your Google account with, to get a verification badge. And I said, what? I didn't know you can do that. So I went on there, and it was so simple. All you need to have is you need to take a selfie with your ID, submit it, make sure that you complete the form on the Google account, and you must be signed in on your Google account. So it wants to monitor, that if you signed in or not, and that you have a selfie with the ID, and it wants you to share any social media, that you have as much as possible so that they can verify your Google account. And then what happens, now here's why people do that. The reason I decided to do that, yesterday? I decided to do that because I wanted to control what people see on Google about me. So, I said, I'm like, why am I seeing, I know I see a lot of J. Blue Sanders, and I see a lot of my pictures, a lot of my videos. That's fine. But, every now and then, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, is there a way I can get a hold of this or control of this or what? And it just out of nowhere, I seen this page asking you to complete this form out to verify your account, and we'll be back with you within they'll review it. So I think that's what you want to look into, so you can control what people see on Google when they search you, and that way they see nothing but everything about you.
Oh, cool. So
I'll send you that link. And everybody, thank you for tuning in right now. We're actually, I'm going to say it like this. If anybody has these handful of questions, they can send those answers to arts@newsandmediarepublic.org. Comedian Miss Arkansas, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. My back light went out. Sorry about that. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is episode 15, Comedian Miss Arkansas, streaming live on Spreaker.com and Spreaker Podcast Player. on my podcast, DJ Blue Radio, The J Blue Show. And don't forget, this episode will be available on demand on YouTube under Immortal Master Floppy. That's episode 15, Comedian Miss Arkansas. And Comedian Miss Arkansas, I think that we're almost done here. Before we wrap this up, I'll ask you a couple more questions. Okay? Is that okay with you? All right.
Yeah.
Sounds great. All right. What's one of your favorite or most inspirational places you like to go?
Church.
All right. For sure.
And the reason I love going to church, first of all, I love fellowship.
Fellowship.
You know, and I like going to the altar. I like altar call because it said take it to the altar. And like when I can tell when my spiritual tank is low, and I don't like for it to get on E because it's so hard to get it back filled. So that's why I would say the church.
Okay.
And by the churches being shut down right now, I know how to praise God inside of my home. I know how to pray. And if I just have to look at a pastor on TV or hear the choir on TV, I can Google my pastor, Pastor Brian Kennedy out of Ontario, California, Mount Zion Baptist Church.
Okay.
And they also sends me messages to join them on Zoom. But every time they send me that, the timing on there, I either be doing an interview or I'm still asleep or something. So I'm gonna make it my business to get up one day to join them on the Zoom.
For sure.
But yes, my answer is church. So it helps me all the time. Not even one time have that failed me.
And Comedian Miss Arkansas, what's your goal professionally?
Well, my real goal is the one in my mouth.
Okay.
And my goal professionally, like I say, stand-up comedian rather. Actress, mother, grandmother, friend, all that. I'm something to everybody. Even a lot of comedians call me their aunt because I talk to them like I am family, and I try to keep them from going through at least half of the stuff I've been through.
Yes. Amen.
So my professional goal, like I say, is it would be comedy. Looking forward to getting me a CD out singing, and my book that's going to come out. I'm trying to figure out if I want to title it Living Miss Arkansas Dream or either make it concerning raising my children and becoming who I am today, and title it Grown and Gone, because they all are grown and gone. So I don't know what the title going to be right now, and I thank God how he put people in their places. One young lady I interviewed on the other day, she happened to be an editor, and she said, I can help you edit your book. So I'm like, wow. You know, and then another lady I interviewed, she got about 4 books that she done put out, so she willing to help me with my book. So it ain't like I got to figure out where this, that, and that go, even though it's my life and I know where it go. I just want to make sure it's in the book right. However I'm trying to say it, you know?
Yes. Okay. That's a good answer. And one more question before, or 2 more questions before we wrap this up. Comedian Miss Arkansas, name something you love about your job and why.
Well, what do I love about my job? I love, and once again, I think I said it earlier, but I love watching the people laugh. And the reason I love watching them laugh, because at the end of the day, you never know what someone is going through. And when I'm on stage, I laugh too. And people be like, well, not people, but I done had a couple of them say, you supposed to be up there laughing, but I feel that if it's funny to me, I'm going to laugh too. And by me laughing, that causes a lot of the other people to laugh. But you never know what someone is going through. And like I stated earlier, I have 2 sons incarcerated. So I could be somewhere sad and depressed and feeling like I was less than a mom or whatever, you know? So it's all about the laughter and not knowing what someone is going through and knowing that you're helping them go through it a little bit lighter than what they was going through before they actually showed up.
Okay. I respect that. I love that. Well, Comedian Miss Arkansas, I have one more question before we wrap this up. And the reason why it's only one more question is because we can't wait to have you on the next upcoming episode. And we don't want to share everything. We don't want to give up everything to everybody. So we want to keep them in suspense. We have plenty of more questions to ask you, but we can't just give them everything. So I want to thank everybody for listening and tuning in and engaging and supporting this episode 15, Comedian Miss Arkansas. Don't forget, this episode will be available on demand on my podcast, DJ Blue Radio, The J Blue Show, on Spreaker.com and Spreaker Podcast Player and YouTube under Immortal Master Floppy. And everything is in the description, so make sure that you do the research on Comedian Miss Arkansas on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and anything with Comedian Miss Arkansas on it. And Miss Comedian Arkansas, we want to thank you again, and we love you so much for being on this episode. One more question before we wrap this up. Is there anything you would like to add or say before the end of this show?
Well, we can also add my TikTok. They done talked me into getting a TikTok. My grandson said, Grandma, you got TikTok? I said, boy, ain't this what that clock over there doing? He said, no, Grandma, that's an app. So they can find my little TikTok too, you know. So whatever app they got now that everybody is linking to, just remember, if you follow me, I'll follow you back. And what I would leave the people with on today, since we are going through this, and those that's not working, just know, even though you're not working, God is still working. And learn to trust God when you can't trust yourself. And please just continue to stay prayed up and covered up. You know, if you have to go out there, get what you need to get back in your home, freshen up. Don't just come in there and lay around, you know, freshen up. Because we don't know what this thing is. We just know that a lot of people are passing away, and we don't know for real how they are passing or nothing. We just know that we got to do what we got to do to make sure we still here. So once again, just pretty much stay prayed up and covered up and trust God when you can't trust yourself.
Amen. Comedian Miss Arkansas, thank you so much for letting us have you today. And you know what? Let's give Comedian Miss Arkansas another round of applause. All right, we are back again. DJ Blue Radio, The J Blue Show, hosted by J Blue Sanders. And y'all just listened to Comedian Miss Arkansas from the South, Arkansas. So,
and since you said from the South, I will end on this note. My name is Arkansas, represents the South. I got me a gold in my mouth. In case you don't know, take a closer look. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Oh my goodness! Thanks for the laughter, Comedian Miss Arkansas.
No, thank you. This has truly made made my day. It just feels so good that people want to interview you and people want to know about you and all of your listeners. I just say to them, whether you're a doctor, lawyer, teacher, whatever you are, you can just be a normal person sitting at home watching the TV. If you would like to be interviewed by comedian Miss Arkansas, please reach out to me. And once again, I do my interviews every day except Sunday on Zoom, zooming through the pandemic with comedian Miss Arkansas. And no, it do not mean we're going through it fast. It only means we're going through it together. And I do not have time to go through nobody's dirty laundry because I have a couple of loads of my own laundry that needs to be cleaned. Yeah.
I heard that. Thanks again. We really appreciate your time. Shout out to all the listeners and supporters. We really thank you. Fadia Z, thank you for leaving that comment. And
Yeah.
oh my goodness, I can't wait to have you on the next upcoming episode. You was really great.
And then you say she have a podcast also?
Yeah, Fadia Z, also known as the Amazing Fufu Show, has a podcast on Mondays. I think it's every Monday from 11 to 12 p.m. But you can always set
I
up.
was going to say if she would like, she can also interview me one day, if she would like.
Sure,
I'd
yeah.
love to.
Yeah, she's I think I'll definitely hey, Fadia Z, you gotta give a shout out to Miss Comedian Miss Arkansas. She just invited you to to be on her show, and she don't mind being on Fadia Z's show. So that's lovable. Everybody, make sure that y'all check out the movie Michael Jackson Searching for Neverland, featuring Navi MJ, comedian Miss Arkansas, myself, a bunch of other amazing actors and actresses and stunts. Shout out to Cash B and B in the movie. Also, do not forget to check out the behind the scenes of Michael Jackson Searching for Neverland on YouTube. Just in anything comedian Miss Arkansas, you must check that out. You got to check it out. Don't sleep on comedian Miss Arkansas. Also, make sure that y'all tune in to her shows Monday through Saturday on Zooming Through the Pandemic with comedian Miss Arkansas. And
yes, they can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, AnchorFM.com, Zoom, Twitter, Facebook, and a few other sites. But, like I tell them, just pretty much Google me, Bing me, book me, pay me.
Yeah. Oh, you want to say your booking email real quick before we wrap this up, or any contact info?
My booking email would be Miss Arkansas D as in David 1, but it's a period after the S with Miss MS period ARKANSAS D as in David, the number 1 at Gmail, or they can gladly call me at area code 314-448-2879 for booking only. If you ain't talking about booking me and you talking some nonsense, you're going to be blocked.
Woo! All right. Y'all heard that, everybody. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But everybody, don't forget to make sure that you follow my podcast, DJ Blue Radio, the J Blue Show. Make sure that you have a really great week. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll be right back. So stay tuned. And I think that's it. Thank you very much, Miss Comedian Arkansas. You can stay on the phone with me for a few minutes. I'll say a few words with you. But I think that's it. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. And everybody, thanks for tuning in. We love you, and we are out. Peace.